Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be finishing off the journal that I plan on taking on my holidays. I will link in the description box below the video that shows how I actually constructed the journal. So now I'm going to go ahead and decorate it ready for use. Okay, so I'm going to embellish this now. I'm going to use this bag that I made and this tag or journaling card, and I'll put links to anything that I've made previously in the description box below. I'm going to attach this to my front cover. And I'm going to use this fabric glue. I haven't used this glue before, so I probably should shake it up a bit. And now I'm going to apply it all over the back of this. Oops. Because I want to make sure it's going to stick fairly solidly. So if I'm putting things in and out of this pocket, I don't want to pull the pocket off. Just position that there towards the bottom, the middle sideways. Now, as I said, I haven't used this glue before, but I have seen lots of people using fabric glue on their projects when they're using fabrics on them. So I'm hoping that this is going to be successful. I'm not quite sure how long it takes to dry, and if there's any ooze out like that, what the consequences are. So I'm going to pop that in there and call that one done. Now I've been through here and I've done a few different things, put some pieces in here that I want to use. Now this flap, I'm going to stamp on this. I could put it on that page, couldn't I? I'm going to put it on that page. So what I want to do is I want to do a bit of stamping on here. I'll just gather up my stamps. I'll be back in a tick. Okay, so I've got this Creative Expressions stamp, and it's called Nature Finds. This is from Paper Inspirations. I'll put a link in the description box to everything I'm using here. So first of all, I'm going to use this text one. I'm not going to put it on a block or anything like that. I'm not looking for a solid image. I'm just going to pop a piece of paper under there, and I'm going to use my vintage photo. Be a good idea if I got it up the right way though, wouldn't it? And stamp that down there, and I'm just trying to take the plainness off of the avocado dyed envelope flap. I'll put some down here, there, because I'm going to put this, it's a printable, over here. So really that's all I'm trying to do, is cover up the area. Just need the stamping in the area where that's not going to go, so I think that's fine there. And I thought that I might use one of these florally ones. just up in this area. Maybe something like that. And I'm going to miss that one, but that will be alright. Okay, so pop that in there, like so. So as I said, you're not going to see this middle part, but there we go. And then that's going to go over there. I might drop that down a little bit, so a bit like that maybe. Okay, so now for this section, what I'm going to do is put a dab of glue here. So this is just going to make a belly band. And I'm going to put this tag in the belly band. That's got some avocado dyed paper on the back. Any of these already created items, as I said, I'll pop them in the description box. The videos that shows how I made them. So that's going to go in there like that. And then this is going to sit on here like that. So about there. So I'm going to put glue on here. Then pop that on that. I'm going to move it away from that edge just a little bit because I don't want it to interfere when I turn the page. So that turns the page just fine. It's not stuck there yet. And then I'll find something to put in that. Or I might just leave that empty so that, you know, I can put tickets or whatever in there. And I can write on the back of this. Okay, so that's that page. I am leaving lots of pages here to write on. Now this one, a video for this will be in the description box as well. This is a vellum bag, and I'm going to attach that. Probably should have brought that down there more. I could have just attached this on 3 sides and had a pocket behind it, but I think I've got enough pockets going on here at the moment, so I'm just going to pop this down the bottom there. And stick that down. And this tag, this has got coffee dyed paper on the back. Oh, actually, yeah, it has. And this one and this one, I think I created them both at the same time, so they'll be in the same video, I think. So that can go in there. We've got the centre. Here, this is just a notelet, and I'm going to round the corners on that. Let's do this size. So this is a printable from Paper Inspirations, and I've just folded it up to give me, I've printed a light pattern on the back, and then I've just folded it up to create some extra writing space if I need it. I mean, I don't really know if I'm going to need it or not, because I don't know how much writing I will do, but as I said before in the video where it showed me making the journal, which I'll link as well, this is for me to take on my holiday that I'm going on shortly, and I will be using this to just keep note of where we go, what we do, so that when I get photos I can remember. I've got something to jog my memory about what we were doing and where we were when those photos were taken. So I'm just inking all the bits on here. I just like the look of inking, so you'll find that most of the things that I make are inked. I like the grunginess or the vintageness, or whatever you like to call it, of the inking. So that will be in the pocket, and I'm going to use this for the pocket. Now this is from the same printable as this one, the same kit, and I'm going to cut that. Let's have a look how big. So that page is 5.5, so I'm going to do a pocket that is, say, 5.25 by, say, about 3. So I'm going to cut this, and I want that top section there. Use this trimmer for that, so I'm going to cut 6.25 by 3.5. Then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Now, which is the top? That's the top, because this writing is up the right way. So 1/2 inch there. Right. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. So cut the corners off. These over. Now these are printed on, I think it's 250 GSM cardstock, so they have got a little bit of heft to them. They're not all floppy like a normal printer paper. Okay, ink around the edge of it. And punch a hole, or a divot, about there, I guess. And I'm going to just trim those back as well. And then stick that down. Try and get your glue right to the edge of your fold back. I find that if you get it to the inside edge as well, it stops anything catching as you put it in the pocket. So I'm going to just pop that down there. Run over it with my bone folder. And just pop my ruler in there and make sure that nothing is stuck that I don't want to be stuck. And then my little journaling spot can go in there like so. Okay, so to embellish this pocket, I've got some fussy cut pieces from that same kit. What's it called? Vintage Hues of Blue. And I'm going to attach those to my pocket. So I've got a postcard with a butterfly on it, and I've got the same butterfly that's fussy cut, and I haven't cut it out of there, I've cut it out of the fussy cuts, so I can pop that on there and then I'll be able to lift those wings up for a 3D effect like so. And then I've got this label that I am going to pop down here, and then when I am writing in here I could perhaps write the date on there or the place or something like that. So that is that page. Yes, we've got that pocket on. A tag that comes in and out for writing. Perhaps, you know, that could be like a secret journaling spot. No one would really know there's writing on there, or you can put something in there. I could put another tag in there. I've got one here. But as I said, I'm probably going to leave that empty for tickets and things. And our big pocket there. Okay, so next I've got this big envelope, and I was thinking I'm going to cut this back a bit because it's just too hard to get into pockets like that, so I'm going to cut this back to say about there. I need to do the same on this edge. Just draw a little line there. Make it easier. Turn that around and then cut that. Probably could have done this before I stitched it, but never mind. So now I'm going to cover that, and I thought to do that I might use this image here. So I need to measure that. That's 4.5. I'm going to make it 4 1/4 inches. Oh no, I'm not, because I want it to butt up to that edge. I'm going to make it 4 3/8 by 4 3/8 by 7 3/4. So if I cut down to there, and turn it around that way and do the 4 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I'll get practically all of that book in that way. By what did I say? 7 3/4. Yep. 7 3/4. Let's ink around that. Okay, so that is going to butt up to the edge of that. And then that's going to give me a little border all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue on here. Right, so let's get that lined up there, and there, and there. Okay, so that gives me a pocket there. And I have got this little document wallet or seed wallet, or I don't know what you like to call them, and I've got a postcard in that I could write on, so I might pop that in that pocket. Now, do I need to embellish that at all, do you think? It's pretty, I could put some nice, just a row of lace down here. I have got, I've got these ruffles, but I'm wondering if they're going to be a bit too bulky, although I have got plenty of room in my cover. So if I put that, say, up there, I'd have to colour it a little bit. It's quite nice, isn't it? I think I might do that, but I need to colour it with something. So let's do that. I don't want a full strip, so that just this piece is good. Now, do I want blue or do I want a pinky colour to go more with the paper? The same colour as I did the cord on the spine, like this colour. That's vintage rose, I think, or vintage something, Victorian rose, I think. I could do that same colour. I'm going to do it the same way as I did the cord. So I'm just going to splash some dye, add some ink down there, then I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to put my cloth in there and just run it all around, and hopefully cover most of it. Probably, oh look at that, wow, that's excellent, very happy. Of course I'm going to have to let this dry before I can attach it, so just need a little bit more pink. Isn't it the same story all the time? You never got quite enough to finish the job. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside to dry, and I've got so much stuff on this desk that it is a wonder I can work. This part that you can see is the only clear part on the whole desk. That's why I have to clean up, clean up as I go, because otherwise I can't go anywhere else. Okay, so if we're going to put that on there, do I need anything else? Do I want a butterfly or something like that? Perhaps I could put a butterfly on that once I stick it on. Yeah, I might do that. Alright, so set that aside to dry and move on to the next page. Oh, that's good. I really love these ruffles. Once again, they're from Paper Inspirations, out of my design team kit for this month. So there'll be a link in the description box if you want to pop over to Paper Inspirations and have a look what they've got. If you do order anything and you use my discount code, you get 10% off. So worth looking at. Now, I'm not that keen on this. I don't mind that. What about, I've got some of this left over from when I did that, and it's the one with the cardstock in between that I've actually made the cover out of. So I could use that up there. What I might do, actually I might cover that whole thing up. Cut that off to that, and just glue around there, and then cut one off down the bottom, glue around there. Yes, that's what I think I'll do. So, how long do I want it? I want it to be covering the whole thing, so 5 1/4, 2 pieces 5 1/4. Okay, so 5 1/4. And would I like to put a piece of this as well? Not. If I put that there, and this one here, then something could slip in there, couldn't it? So something could get under there and into there. So we've got like 2 tuck spots, 2 little clips. Okay, we'll try that, shall we? So I'll use the fabric glue for this because it's got fabric on both sides. I want that side. That's quite nice, isn't it? I could cut along here with my pinking shears. I'm going to have to go and get my husband to do the other one because it just hurts too much on my arthritic thumbs to do that. Oh, jeepers creepers. Trim that off. Some nice scissors to do that with. Okay. What happens if I ink it? Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so glue along 3 sides. And then attach that up the top there, right along the edge. Like so. Now I'm going to clip that in place. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to take this other one out to my husband and get him to cut the edge and then I will be back. Okay, so they're stuck down now and I'm going to stencil on the background of this. Now this is a Craft stencil and I think it comes in a 12 by 12 and you get 4 different ones there, and this one's called Floral. So I'm going to use my Victorian velvet and my foam, my domed blending tool, and add some ink to the background just to take that plainness off of the background, and the dyeing on there wasn't all that even, so it was a bit splotchy looking. So I'm going to try and disguise that with this blending. I will be able to write on this as well, even though it is the top and the bottom pocket, and I can put something in the pockets, but I can still write behind it. So there we go. So I've got a few things here that I could possibly put in there. I've got them out of my ready-made parcel, so I could put something like that there. That top's a tuck as well, so something could go in there like that, or I could put like this tag in there. This tag could probably fit under the top and the bottom, so something like that. Now here my little ruffle is dry now, and so I'm going to attach that on there. Let me find my glue. So just run a bead of glue down the stitching. I don't know what's going on with my art glitter glue lately. I've never had any problems with it before, and now it's doing all sorts of weird things. So I'm putting a good coat of that on. I have got fabric glue there, I probably should use that. Too late now. I'm going to put that there. Well, it doesn't matter if that overlaps a little bit. So I'll let that overlap a little. The side. Try and get that row of stitching straight. Okay, so that's that pocket. I'm happy with that. Oh, I was going to put a butterfly on there, wasn't I? Okay, so I was thinking one of these blue butterflies just on there, like so. So I'll ink around the edge of that. I've only printed this on copier paper, so it's not that sturdy. So I'm going to stick it all completely down. I'm not going to leave the wings free because I think that they'll end up getting torn off if I do that. So half and half, about there. Okay, so right, so that's that page. Not too bulky, do we think? Anyway, I can have a look at that later on. Okay, so that's that page finished now. Do I want to put something decorative on the two flaps or not? These are all fussy cuts from the collection. Nice postcard. A little label with a butterfly. Or I could just do a label with a normal butterfly on it. Just for a little something. What do we think? Do we need something on there? I think a little something would be good. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same stencil and the same ink on that I've used on the background, just to add a little something to that. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing here. There's so much stuff in the way. Just use a little bit of scrap paper and lay that on there like so. need to hold the label and the stencil for this particular one because it slips around. You could use tape the you know, removable tape washi or something like that to tape your label to your background. Then you don't have to worry about holding it. But I haven't got the patience for that. Probably just holding it is quicker. So I pop that there, and I want that there. Do I even like that now? I'm not sure I do. We might do a postcard and a butterfly like that. Just a little something. So that's not quite trimmed up properly. So I'll just trim that down a little. Take that white edge off. Ink around the edge of it with the vintage photo. And stick that down there. Now, I will use my fabric glue for this. Oh, if I can get the cap off. There we go. So just on, say, the bottom half of this. And then our little butterfly there. Okay, so I think I prefer that out of there like that. Alright, so that's that page finished. Now we come to the back inside of the journal, so the back inside cover. Okay, so now I want to put a large pocket on the back here, and I'm going to use this fabric because I want to cover that up. And what I've done is I've used that double-sided interfacing to attach the fabric to a piece of, or very thin cardstock, maybe heavy paper, because I wanted it to have a bit of structure. So now I'm going to just cut around this. I've cut this cardstock to the right size, and it will have a 1/2 inch fold in on the 3 sides. I'm not going to cut all that off because what I think I'll do is I'll fold that down there just to reinforce that a little bit, and because that's going to be on the inside of the pocket I don't mind using glue, so I'm going to add some glue here. And then fold that down like that. Oh, got a bit of a mess there. Lucky I didn't get my journal in it. And then I'll just use my bone folder to just reinforce that down. Bit of excess glue there. Okay, so let's just move that out of the way for the moment, and I'm going to put this on my scoreboard and I'm going to score a 1/2 inch on 3 sides, so the 2 sides and the bottom. Now I'm going to fold those in. I got glue everywhere. Burnish that down. Now I'm going to cut the corners off, just to reduce that bulk, and I'm going to trim down on this corner too, so just to make it a bit easy to slide things in and out and not get caught. Okay, so now I'm going to add some glue, and I'm going to use my fabric glue. Probably should have checked that this fits before I attach the glue, but too late now. So now I'm going to fold those in, add that up, and attach this in here like so. Okay, so just let that dry a bit, I guess. But it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's hidden those rows of stitching, and it may be too far over. No, that'll be fine. That is excellent. Okay. Right, so there's no real need to embellish the front of this journal, I don't think. It's lovely as it is. I will do something on here. Okay, so what do I want to put in there? I've got plenty of things I can put in there. So I've got that, yeah, I'll put, actually I might leave that open for, you know, like airline tickets and things like that will be able to go in there. That's a good size pocket for that sort of thing. Okay, so I've selected some beads here to put on my strings that are left over from when I did my binding. So I'm going to start by putting just a silver circle. Then I'm going to do a green bead. Now I'm hoping that this cord is going to fit through there. It doesn't look like it will, so I'll use a pink bead. So a silver and a pink. Then I've got these handmade paper beads. And I'm going to thread those through there. And then I've got a butterfly charm that can go on there, and then perhaps this blue bead, and then another one of these hand beads, handmade beads I mean, and a silver, another silver circle. I'm using silver because of the silver on there. Now let's have a look at this one. Let's do something different. We'll start off with this green bead, and then we'll put this blue bead, then a silver bead, then a handmade paper bead, then I've got a pink bead, and a silver flower charm, and another one of these handmade beads, and another silver bead. And I think these holes are not big enough. Oh yes, okay. Put that on there, and perhaps one of these on here as well. Very good. So now I thought that to seal them off I would make a wax seal and stick on there. So I'm going to heat up my wax. What I'm going to do is I'll heat up the wax and get everything ready, and then when it's ready to do I'll come back. Okay, so my wax is melted, and I'm using these waxes that I got from BB Craft, and I'm using the pearlized green at this point in time. I'm going to do two, and the first one, this seal that I'm going to use, when I went to China for a holiday, they have, you know, the promotion where they sell you a stamp that is your name in both English and Chinese. So I'm going to use this. I have used this before as a stamp, a wax stamp, so I'm going to use that again. And what I'm going to do is tip my wax on there, and then put my seal on it. Now the wax is probably not big enough to cover the whole seal, but I'll put that there. Now I'm going to use the pearly pink for the other seal, and I'm going to use a different stamp for that. So I'm putting in there, what am I putting in there? About 7 of those little beads. I'm going to use this wax seal for that. It's a bow. So just let that sit there for a while. I'm not fussy about my wax seals being perfectly round. I prefer the jagged or the uneven look to a seal, so I'm not fussed about that not being completely square and even. Now I'll just move that one up this way a little bit, and when that pink wax melts, it's probably going to be a bit, it's going to still have a little bit of that green left in it, so it might have, you know, like a two-tone look to it, which is fine with me as well. So once I've got these seals on there, I'm going to call this journal finished and put it with my things ready to go on holiday. I'm starting to pack already, even though I'm not going for 4 weeks. It's for, well, 3.5 weeks before we leave. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, there we go. So, is that going to work or not? Probably need to turn it over and do one on the other side as well. What do you think? And actually, I think it's too big, so I'm going to cut it down. Like that. So what do you think? Do you think I need to, well, I won't move that yet, but I can cut that string off because the wax seal will be the bottom. Now the pink, is that melted completely? Yes. So, I don't know about you, but I love playing around with these wax seals, this wax and all the bits and pieces that go with it. I'm going to try and get the whole thing covered with that. Pop my seal on it. Now, I think I'm going to put some more wax in there, and those pieces that I cut off I'm going to just put back on there. I might put a bit of blue in with it. Oh, blue and pink will probably make. Put a bit of the plain green. So we've got plain green, pearl green and pink. Bit of a mixture, and I will let that melt, and then I'll put that on the back of this and stamp that. So which way is Julie there? So I'm going to put it that way this time. Okay, so now that's melted, I'm going to pour that on top of that and then put my seal on top of it. I'm wondering whether this hot wax is going to melt that, and I'm going to end up with a big mess, but let's try it and see. Okay, so now let's take this one off and see how this looks. Okay, I think I want to cut that out. Actually, I don't think that one needs it on the back, although it might look a bit nicer. How's this going? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to trim it. Okay. That's something a little bit different, I think. Okay. So, I'll link all of the things in the description box that I have used that you might be interested in having a look at. Oops, that's still a bit molten there. Okay, so there we have it. Actually, I need to tidy this up a bit more, and I will. But there we go. There's my journal with my dangle on the side with my wax seals on them, my closure, and my signature stitched in and all of my pockets in place. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed watching me decorate this journal. As I said, I'm going to take it with me on holidays, and I'll use it to fill in the details of my holiday so that I've got something to match my photos to when I get back, because in the end they all melt together, don't they? Although some of them stand out pretty well. Okay, thank you for being here, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.